was looking through my Star Wars encyclopedia of starfighters and other vehicles and stumbled across this, a Jedi Interceptor. Hey, I can make that, my inner voice said. So that's what I did. Let's start scratching that build. Sadly, I didn't have any styrene on hand, so I reverted back to old school and just used cardstock instead. I roughly sketched out a wing, then tried to make sense of it all by drawing straight lines with a pencil. I'm going to need something to attach the wings to, so I'll use this plastic bottle as my cockpit. Let's call this Plastic Paper Fusion. The sizing looked right, but the wings kind of flimsy, so went back to the cardstock and traced out and cut out 5 more wings. Wait, I need to make these tiny wing things, so I need to go back to the cardstock and cut out 12 of these shapes. Quick montage of me cutting out these wings. Bored with cutting card, I turned my attention to the cockpit. This isn't going to be anything fancy, just a bottle with a lid stuck to it. I mean, come on, that's most of my builds in a nutshell. I'll need to make a little adjustment to the front end. This is where I realised I should have changed my blade to a fresh one, making more cuts than a Michael Bay movie. I finally got the look I was going for. I just need to make a few nips on the lid now, and then it'll be perfect. So I just need to stick part A to part B and hold for an extremely long time instead of using the glue activator that is standing right next to your right hand. Wait, let's try that again and pretend I know what I'm doing. Attach part A to part B and use the activator to quicken the drying time of the glue. All off camera because you forget to record. I need just one wheel from this broken toy. I mean, how hard can it be? Just one wheel. Quickly disengaging the adult brain for that of a child's brain, I quickly released the wheel from its housing. Well, kind of quickly. Oh, well that went well. Well, that went somewhere. Second attempt then, and perhaps not get it into shot too. Perfect. The troublesome wheel finds a new home in this bottle cap. I'll then use a wide shot to show you how I put a tiny bead onto the wheel to make it look like an engine. I've no idea who's directing this video, but he needs to be shot. What? Sorry? Me? Oh. Okay. Look, there's a close-up of... Oh, no. There's a close-up of the wheel. Now, after all that, let's get that lid glued onto the back of this bottle. So it's going to look like some sort of engine. I'm going to use another lid to cover the front of the bottle. I'll then make window looking things from thin strips of card. With my low attention span in high gear, I'm turning my attention back to the wings, which I cut out a shape from the card, then glue that whole piece to another whole piece of the wing. This is called variation. I'm going to use more thin strips of card to add some detail to the wings, like this. Any of you wondering why I'm not using PVA glue for this build? Simples. This was a lot quicker to use using the super glue than having to wait around just for one little thin strip of card to dry. Oh look, sprue time! I need some long pieces of sprues so my wings have something to attach and stick to. This is called working it out because you know that what you're building is too flimsy. For the underneath of the wings, I thought I would just mix it up a little bit to add my own design, so went with a round cut. Simply because it was easier to do round than do another technical shape with a ruler. Well, would you look at that? I almost got them in perfect symmetry. Oh well, I'm going to stick that onto the wing and also have some little thin strips of card coming through that, just to give that some detail as well. I'm going to use my pointy thing to carefully score into the card, so then I can make some nice looking details of panel lines. Don't go too deep, otherwise you'll end up cutting straight through the card, and we don't want that. Oh look, effective panel lines. Well, I think they look like panel lines. Let's move on. Thinking I'm the boss of making panel lines, I for once actually did both wings at the same time, so the panels were matching as it went through the cockpit and the other side. I feel kind of proud of that one. Anyway, garden wire. Let's talk about garden wire. The garden wire will be sparingly used as piping along the underside of the wings, and also for some extra detailing on the sprues. After that, you pray to the plastic gods and glue the wing to the long sprue, and hope that all your calculations and working out pays off. Well, wouldn't you know, it worked. So attach the last wing to the other side, and this interceptor is starting to take shape. I decide to cut another bottle down the middle so I can use as a panel on the top of the first bottle. Confused? Don't be. Just take 2 aspirins, sit back and watch the rest of the build. Did I tell you to like as well? Just keep trimming away the plastic like you don't care until you get some sort of shape that you think is going to look right, and then score this plastic to make the panel lines before gluing it onto the bottle. There, see? The tablets worked. So that's that bit now. The cockpit is now complete, or the rest of the spaceship is now complete. Some more garden wire is added to the tip of the wings just to help stick the smaller wings on. Oh, look who's using the activator now. Let's turn this build up another notch. I'm going to do some bead action now. So I've got some beads, and what I'm going to do is put them on the front just to make them look like laser beams or laser guns or laser cannons. Yes, laser cannons to take over the world. Sorry about that. Kind of got a bit excited there. Anyway, I'm just going to greebly up the bottom of the wings, just so I've got something for the garden wire to go into, and then it's on to sealing this ship up. Ooh, not before and not forgetting a googly eye. A googly eye has to be incorporated in most of my builds, and there is one right now. Googly eye. You see, my brain is racing away with myself, and I forgot to add the wings, the little wing bits, which is the whole idea and point of this build. So I'm just going to add some little thin strips of card before I carefully attach the wing bits to the Jedi Interceptor, and then we'll go on to sealing the spaceship. Or we would have if I hadn't have found these little dinky greebly things that I'm going to stick on top of the smaller wings. Has anybody spotted I'm not using my normal super glue for this build? I'm using the oily glue simply because Screwfix haven't got my normal glue in stock yet again, and this is one of the main problems of living in Ireland. Due to Brexit, half of the stuff takes about 6 months to get delivered. To help the paint stick onto the cardboard, I'll put a thin layer of Mod Podge to seal it all in. Don't skimp on the podge. There she is, one Jedi Interceptor ready for painting. I'll use my cheap and cheerful battery operated air gun. I was going to call it pistol then for some reason, no idea. I'm going to use black first, and I'm going to just pre-shade all the panel lines. I've seen this done before, and I think I've done it once or twice already, and yeah, I think I might go too heavy with the overcoat of grey, but at least I know they're there. Once the black is dry, then I hit it with a dark grey. I'll hit certain areas heavier than other areas, just to give each panel that slight worn look. And I'm doing this just because, so then you guys think I know what I'm doing. Well, in fact, it's all trial and error really. You see, someone forgot to do the panel lines on these small little wings. And then painting like I don't have a care in the world, I'll just put grey straight into that and then just paint over all the black. And then no Jedi Interceptor is fully complete without masking off certain areas and doing the go faster stripes. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to use a burgundy to try and keep it as close to the picture that I'm working off as possible, and I'm just going to dab all that on. Once all that is dry, carefully peel off the masking tape to reveal a paint job worse than Donald Trump's hair. So what I'll have to do is just go back in with the red and try and straighten up all the wonky lines, just to try and make it look a little bit less bad than what it is, and then just paint the cockpit, and then once that's dry, it's onto the weathering powders. You've seen me do this many times before, but basically I'll just go in with the black, the brown, the rust colour, possibly even some white, just to try and get some streaking in there, just to try and tone everything down, and then it's on to the glamour shots. So all that's left for me to say is thanks for sticking with this video, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and until next time, keep scratching that build, everybody.